Hello and welcome to Fast Forward EVs. It's the week between Christmas and New Year's at the end of 2024, and we're going to do a grand tour. The tour may be grand, but the weather is not. I think we're going to be looking for the same kind of dreary, overcast, drizzly, pretty much for the whole day, which is a bummer. But I've run out of time. It's last few days of the year. If I'm going to get this thing in, it's got to be now. So, what do I mean exactly by a grand tour? Well, I mean a grand tour of a group of fast charging stations on the highways of Ohio. I've been doing this since 2021 every year. And the first 2 years I did it was going to the Electrify America stations because they were the only network we had on the highways in Ohio. And now, this year, we've got new networks. We've got the Pilot Flying J network of GM Energy associated stops. And that's what we're going to be traveling to this weekend. Play Your Man's Best Friend by the Blonde Swedes.
Man's Best Friend Remastered 2018 by The Pursuit of Happiness, now playing on Apple Music.
Incorrect. Well, the sun did come out. Things are looking up. We are almost to our first Pilot Flying J stop. So here we are at the Pilot Flying J in London, Ohio. This was, we believe, the first NEVI-funded site in the nation when it went live last year, or earlier this year, rather. Here's our Bolt EUV, resplendent in its steely winter tires. Now, the primary reason I brought this on this trip is because all these are GM Energy sites with EVgo stations on the back, EVgo managing the back end rather. And so plug and charge works. So I don't have to deal with the app or fussing around with anything. I just plug in and it starts charging slowly because it's a Bolt, but charging nonetheless. Okay, on to the next one. Boo. There they are, and they're in use. Well, the My Chevy app failed me here at Ionna. It shows me on the map at this location, but doesn't show a charger at this location. Maybe it's because it's just so new. I ran across another person charging their BZ4X, their Toyota, and he offered to help me, and because he was out here testing the charger too. So he's a vlogger himself, Tyler Hendricks, and it was very nice to chat with him. And eventually I gave up on the app and just used a credit card to pay for the session. So let's get a look at the place. Here's the 3 CCS chargers, so that's a total of 6 charging sessions at once can happen here. Over here they have 2 more. These are the next connector ones. And we are at a Sheetz off Route 41 near Springfield, off of Route 70. Okay, on to the next one. There's the blue bollards. And there's Rivian charging here. Let's take the other one. So here's the Eaton Pilot. Plug and charge worked as usual. Here's the site. Here's the business end of things. Interesting place. Just came across Germantown Auto Sales. They clearly specialize in VW bugs. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, at least 17 of them on the site. And also GM Grand Nationals, whatever those cars are called, I believe. Pretty cool. Anyway, it's Germantown Auto Sales, I guess in Germantown, Ohio. Okay, we've sneaked up on our next pilot station on the back roads. Here's the interchange for I-75. Where are the blue bollards? Over there, way in the back. Lonely, lonely Chargers. Alright, so this is the Franklin site. We're fully charged and ready to get on to our next one, which is actually closer than I thought. It's in a Flying J in Jeffersonville. But the Franklin stop is pretty good, pretty busy. There are 3 charging at once here, and now there's only 2, but I can see this one filling up frequently. The other amenities they have here are a Dunkin' Donuts and a Subway. And there's McDonald's within walking distance. Hell, okay. The gloomy skies continue. What you gonna do? Lovely. It's pull-throughs with canopies. I love that. They always should have been this way. Flying J with a Denny's. just passed a Chevy Bolt, the original model, on the side of the road on this highway, Route 70, east of Columbus, which is a bit of a charging desert. I'm wondering if he fell victim to the range low light, thinking he had 20 miles of range because that's when it vanished. And then 10 miles later, his car just stopped, which is what tends to happen in the Bolt because it has no buffer. And without the buffer, a combination of no buffer and it stopping reporting your range when you get below 20 miles of range adds up to a situation where people think they might make it to the next charger, which is this one we're going to is only 2 miles from us. So he only needed to get 3 more miles to a charger, but it just stopped because he didn't get the information he needed from the GOM. Hey, it's another canopy location. Awesome. And a Cybertruck. Hi, Cybertruck. That's like the third Cybertruck I've seen today. They do stand out, I'll give them that. Oh, wow. 3 other people already charging. All of them Bolts. Oh, I'm going to have to back up. This is going to be interesting. I guess I need to be here. Okay. There are 3 Bolts here for a minute, and plus that Kia. One of them's already scooted on. Let's see, we have a nice canopy. They have a Denny's here because it's Flying J. Apparently that's a combo, Flying J and Denny's. It is right off the highway. Highway is right over there. More evidence, as if it was needed, that 4 is the wrong number for these new stops, especially in areas where there aren't a lot of chargers, but there are a lot of cars. We've got 4 people charging here right now, so we're full up. And the site's brand new. I saved this screenshot to show what I'm talking about this being a bit of a desert. Because of the distance to the next 2 stops, I wanted to make sure I had enough to get to the second one if the first one wasn't available, so I wouldn't be stranded. And I thought, well, let me look at the Tesla network because I can plug in there if I need to. You know, even Tesla, everything to the east of me, to the right of me. There's nothing until you get into West Virginia. There are probably older Tesla chargers in that area, but none of the newer ones, the version 3 or higher, that support non-Tesla vehicles. So the desertification of the southeastern half of Ohio continues. So on we go. It's starting to get a little dark. It's 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So it should have a little bit of light left when we get to this next stop, but the last stop of the day is definitely going to be in the dark. These boxed canyon construction zones scare me. Very nervous making. This has already been going on here in Zanesville for feels like 10 years. And it still feels 10 years away from completion. Never-ending left-hander. This is like being in bobsled. One little twitch and you're bouncing off the walls. Well, that wasn't fun. Let's not do that again real soon. Now, this place is pretty busy and pretty shabby. No canopy, place is messy. It's loud. But the gas pumps have canopies, why not the electrics? Someday, baby. On to our last stop of the day. As foretold by the rotation of the planet and its tilt along its orbit, it is getting dark. It's just after 5 o'clock p.m. Boo! This is a very out-of-the-way oasis. The only thing I'd like to see, I'd like them to start advertising that there's EV here. They have signs telling the price of 2 different kinds of liquid fuel. Why isn't the sign say how much they charge for kilowatt hour of electricity. So they have canopies here. An interesting combination of canopy but not pull through. Like the London stop from the beginning of the day. Some more evidence that 4 is the wrong number. There's 3 of us here. And one of these handles, the one I pulled up in, did not work. It connects to the vehicle. I mean, it plugs in, but it doesn't then authorize. It's like it's not latching, or the data pins don't work. So I had to plug in the other connector from the other parking spot, and that authorized immediately. Polestar there, they were having a lot of trouble too. They ended up using a credit card to authorize and got it working. And there's another Kia or whatever over there at the end. So this station's full up. There's 4 posts, but only 3 of them work. And we're full. And these are brand new. No capability of growth beyond this. And by the 12 months from now, there's going to be twice as many EVs on the road as there are now. So this was short-sighted. So it's our last stop of the night. We're all done. This Pilot, they have a Dunkin' Donuts and a Subway. It's a noisy stop. It's a bit of a dirty stop. At least they have canopies. Time to head home